Yo, what up? It's your boy Strange Cloud. Back to do this VOD review again, because I did it originally, but for whatever reason, it cut off like half of the screen, and I don't know, like Rain himself said the VOD review was cool and he appreciated it and all that stuff, but I still wanted to. I'm basically going to say the same things, but I just wanted to give. I wanted you guys to be able to see the full screen because when I looked at it, I was like, man, this looks like shit. So I fixed it now. I don't know what the issue was the first time, so we'll just get right into it real quick. Okay, so first and foremost, as I said the first time when I did this, you're against Amumu. So there's a couple things that you can do to start. There's a couple things you can think about starting the game. So against Amumu without blue is really, really, really bad. Jungle Amumu without blue is terrible. So there's a couple options you can do. So Rain uh, obviously chose to start his blue, so it's not like I can coach him and tell him to do something different for this game. It's already happened, so just giving a different perspective as to what you could do, especially if you're against especially if you're against a jungler like Amumu or somebody that's mana dependent in the early game. So what you could do is when the gates open at 12 seconds or whatever it is rush right to their blue, get vision, or just kind of hang out there and have Fiora come with you and start their blue, right? See if they come to it, see if he's going to start there, whatever you want to do. Or you can go straight from your blue to their blue if you want, or you can go straight from your red to their blue. Okay, especially if you know they're not there. So maybe you come all the way here and you drop a ward there. You start your red, you go right to their blue, and that's the end of it. You can do either one of these because Amumu can't fight you at level 2. It's impossible for him to fight you. If he fights you, you either kill him or he flashes away and barely lives. That's pretty much the only options. Um, so yeah, those are a couple starting options you can do. Rain doesn't do them here. It's not a big deal, but I just wanted to give that perspective here. So let's watch what Rain does, and I'll make a couple comments on a few things he does. So we're mostly going to be looking at pathing and efficiency and stuff like that. So he decides to start his red, which is fine. Or excuse me, his blue. Mumu starts his red, which again here, um, leaves himself susceptible to ganks. And also notice, look, he doesn't even have, there's no wards on the map for Amumu, right? So I mean, again, this blue would have been free, but it's okay. Alright, so he goes blue right to Gromp, which is fine. And then I believe he looks for the level 2 gank, which is fine. I do that sometimes too. Um, just have to take a look at your lanes. He's looking at them all. He goes and gets Scuttle first because this looks like it's pushing up, and he'll still be in position to gank, even though it's actually ends up pushing down. But they end up getting the kill anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so level 2 ganks on Nocturne, pretty strong. So here, this is what I want to talk about. Here. So Rain here should immediately back. Now you're saying, well, why should he immediately back? Well, because he just saw, if we go back here, he just saw Mumu right there. Okay, so he knows he's on top side of the map, right? Knows he's on top side of the map. So if he backs right, he goes in the bush and backs right there. So it's 240, right? Okay, so that's 240. He doesn't need to help them push here, okay, because he's got both. I mean, it's whatever. But if he decides to back like right here at 240, he'll get back at 248. He can come right to his red and then look to meet Amumu here in the jungle and just absolutely shit on him. So now watch what does happen though, okay? Because he doesn't do that. And again, it's not terrible that he doesn't do it, but we're talking about efficiency. We're talking about being since he'd be up on an item, so he goes and he does a clear instead. So now again, had he backed at like 240, He'd already be back on the map. He'd have an item advantage. Now I can't see how much gold he has, so he'd have the choice of probably buying either a longsword or the talisman. But again, this is fine. You're still up an item on Amumu. You still would be up an item on Amumu, and you know where he is, right? And you know you can fight him. And there's nothing he can do. Even though he's going to be level 3, there's still nothing he can do. So, and it also gives you an opportunity to be up here or here when he decides to counter gank, because excuse me, when he decides to gank, because top is extended, and while Zillion's not extended, still people try and force ganks mid anyway. So just being around anyway, because you know he's not going to come bot anytime soon. Okay, so knowing where he is, should have backed. And because he doesn't back, watch what happens. He ends up doing doing his red here. Now, again, had he backed, he'd already be done with red. He'd already be out here, and he'd be right in position for the counter gank. Now, his Fuar lives, but she ends up burning Flash. Okay? And then he waits here. I think he's maybe looking or hitting. I don't know what he's doing there, but he ends up full clearing, I believe. Kites it out. Amumu ends up getting his camp here because, again, because he didn't back. I think he was looking for Yorick there. So yeah, if we back all the way up, since we can't pan the map and stuff like that. So look at this. So because he didn't back there, he actually surrenders one of his camps for no reason. This shouldn't be up. Amumu is not. Amumu has no idea where Nocturne is. He's just playing guest jungling, right? He's just like, oh, I'll just walk in here since I'm here, and hopefully it's up? Question mark. And it just happened to be up because he skipped it for whatever. I'm not even really sure why he skipped it. I thought he did a full clear, but had he backed, he could have backed, came and got this, got red, got this, all before that gank happened. He would have been there, and they would have just won the 2v2. Okay. So he does this, backs. Okay, now knowing this, should be headed bot side. Mumu hasn't even went back yet. So again, if you back early, if we look at items here in CS, Mumu's up in CS because he hasn't backed yet. But if he would have backed earlier rather, sorry, he would be here in time. Mumu actually beats him to the scuttle. Okay, Mumu actually beats him to the scuttle here. So backing early, clearing that, all this would have been cleared. He would have backed a long time ago, and he would have been in preparation for that. But because of that, he misses it. And again, he ends up winning and he ends up carrying the game. So it's not the hugest deal in the grand scheme of things. But as you continue to climb, back timing is crazy important. So again, he's still seconds behind everything, right? Still seconds behind everything. And because of that, Amumu, who hasn't even bought yet, who's a level up on him for no reason. There's no reason Amumu should be a level up on a Nocturne ever. Okay. Ends up coming down and getting a kill, right? And that just shouldn't happen, right? That just should not happen. Okay. So Rain ends up cleaning it up, which is fine and everything. But again, if you're on top of your jungle or your jungle backs, okay, your back timing, you'll be one step ahead of this Amumu, and you'll just make his life miserable. Had he backed early, he'd be able to invade here. Remember when he was at blue, he would have been able to kill him, burn his flash. He could have backed then came back here in his bot side. I mean, Amumu wouldn't be able to jungle, straight up. And that's how it should be in this matchup. Again, Rain does a really nice job of cleaning up here, so it all works out in the end. Lux helps him out a bunch here too, so it works out. But we don't want to base everything off of, oh, well, I hope they just, give it back. Because, I mean, they will at low elo. But we want to be as proactive as possible, especially in a matchup that is a free win, right? Nocturne versus Amumu is free LP. Okay, this is a good back here. He has nothing to really farm on the backside, or excuse me, on the bot side. His blue's coming up soon, so he's going to get his item and then run down to blue. So knowing this, again though, his idea should be to look bottom after getting blue, look for a gank, or counter gank, right? And I think he does, which is fine. Knowing that Amumu should be on the bot side. decides to sneak Cloud. That's not a big deal. That's fine. Doesn't want to dive bottom. Okay. But he should be tracking here that Amumu has to be on the top side if he hasn't shown bot yet. Okay. The only thing here is Rain ended up missing out on 2 kills, being a part of 2 kills at least, by doing the Drake and then doing the Scuttle, which, I mean, it's whatever, but if you want to collect as much gold as possible and stuff like that, that would have been, it would have been nice. So maybe just foregoing Scuttle and then killing them and then coming back, or I mean just looking to dive bot anyways. I can't pan over and see because this is from his uploaded video and his perspective. So you know, Cloud Drake is not super important. I think again, it didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but as you climb and stuff like that, prioritizing a pretty free double kill bottom that you can be a part of and get more gold, and then Drake is much better, especially if it's Cloud Drake. Okay. So here, Mumu shows top, and because Amumu path's really weird, you get free Raptors, which is fine, which is great. But okay, so I want to back up here. But now, this shouldn't happen, right? Because he pathed like weirdly. These are up. These you got really lucky, just like he did with the Raptors. You both got really lucky, right? You know he was just on the bot side of the map, so you even going here is wasting time. Now, again, it worked out for you. However, you know he just came from here because his red was up. And you now know he's topside, so you have to imagine that he probably did a full clear. Now, for whatever reason, these are up because he did some funky clear, but you should back like right now. You should be backing right now, or even before then. So if you were to back now, you'd get back to base at like 855, 856, right? Be 856, and then you'd path over here. But what happens is Mumu ends up walking into your jungle, and I think he steals some of your camps again. I think. So you'd be back already. You'd be pathing here, and I think he walks in and steals your stuff, right? Yeah, he walks back in and steals your Raptors, and that shouldn't happen. You're letting a Mumu counter jungle you for no reason. Now, you end up catching him because you don't back here, but again, if you had backed, you'd get your camp and the kill. It's all about efficiency, right? Mr. Q, that's whatever. Not spell shield anything, that stinks. But it doesn't matter because you still kill him anyways. Okay? So again, back timing is so crucial. Back timing, especially if you have all your camps up top and you want to be topside anyways, because now you want to prioritize the Rift Herald, which you get here. Okay, but again, you're sitting on a lot of gold. You're up 14-5. I can't see how much gold you have, but I know you're on a lot. Okay, because you just got Drake, you just got bottom turret, just got to kill it, right? You're sitting on a lot of gold. Okay, invading here is pretty good because you know this should be up soon because he was just there. That's the last place he left. This is actually fine, but you want to back on, especially on your power spikes, which is one of them, which is Warrior, and I'm pretty sure you have Warrior already. But I think you decide to go Blood Razor, which is fine. So your power spike will be Blood Razor. Pretty sure you have it. Okay, so you want to back a little sooner than that. So anyways, we'll just stop it there. You carry the rest of the game. You're already at 12 minutes. I want to just talk about early game pathing and backing. Your pathing wasn't that bad. Wanted to give some options against the Amumu. So just think back to where we started. I said you can either start at his blue, your red, or your blue, and just go right to his blue and make his life really miserable. These are things you want to do as Nocturne against weaker matchups. And then back timing. So like here, you just got to kill. You should be looking to back right now, getting on this side of the map here, your red side of the map, and then looking to invade him and deny him taking your camps. Amumu took your Raptors twice, and that just shouldn't happen as Nocturne. But well played overall, really good game. Glad you were able to carry. Thanks for submitting it. Thanks for allowing me to review it a little bit, and I hope this helps some people out. So yeah, just remember back timing, back timing, back timing. All right, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and give me a subscription here on YouTube. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks.